Southend Park was an area of around 6 acres, which is now covered by Milton Road, London Road, St Vincent's Road and Park Road, which is where the entrance was. It was bordered on 4 sides by Park Road, Park Terrace, Park Crescent and Avenue Road. Avenue Road was once called Mill Lane and was a country byway hedged with primroses and violets leading from Milton to Prittlewell. The park was privately owned by builder and contractor William I. Stewart, who charged a 6p entrance fee, and advertised it as the only public park in Essex. It was already well established by the 1860s, with cricket and croquet being played there in the summer, and football and rugby during the winter months. The cricket field and its pavilion was situated opposite the Cricketers' Hotel and stables. The park was a very popular place with the town's residents, and crowds flocked to use the many sporting facilities, including a trotting ring, lawn tennis courts, a luncheon marquee, and accommodation for dancing, skating, athletic sports and gymnastic exercise, as well as for those who preferred a quiet stroll along the green lawns with numerous beds of flowers. The park was illuminated at night by a significant number of oil lamps suspended at intervals, which were lit during the evenings. To the southeast of the park, wealthy young ladies would come in their carriages with their chaperones and park, while suitable gentlemen on horseback would parade. Cards would be exchanged so references could be sought. At the time, the price of £1 per carriage, and 15 shillings, 75 pence, for a man on horseback was a prohibitive amount except for the very wealthy. The Rochford 100 Men's and Women's Club lawn tennis tournament moved to the park from the grounds at Rochford, where it was founded in 1881, and played at Southend Park until 1886. The Rochford 100 Cricket Club played there in 1867 before moving to the cricket field that was then in North Road, and from there moved to the Kersal. It was this club that became the Southend Cricket Club in 1895, and played from Southchurch Park. In 1875, the park is known to have had a 7-foot wide cinder track, which was used for trotting and penny farthing races. A natural spring, channeled into an area of about an acre, surrounded by an artificial bank, fed a fishing lake in the southwestern corner which supported carp, tench, and goldfish. Anglers paid an extra 1 shilling a day to fish in the lake, and spectators paid 3p to watch from the promenade. The lake froze over sufficiently in the freezing winter of 1880 to 1881 to permit ice skating. The 1870s and 1880s were the boom period for building in Victorian Southend, and the eastern half of the Milton estate, which stretched from the High Street to Avenue Road, and from the railway line to London Road, was one such area. Mr. Stewart began making improvements and enlarged the lake, and planned to create 2 extra lakes in the shape of parallelograms to form an 800-foot-long ice rink for winter and a boating lake for summer. But the plan didn't go ahead, and in their place, installed large banks of shrubs and evergreens intersected with gravel walks, with seats and rustic summer houses. Many fetes and galas were held in the park, including an annual Grand Agricultural Gala, with fireworks and cycle races and other spectaculars. Boating was permitted on the lake, and he also widened the cinder track to 15 feet with easy corners on an 86-foot radius, which measured just over 3 laps of the track to the mile for bicycle racing competitions. A special contest marked the opening of the bicycle route on the 13th of March, 1881, with 3 silver cups to be awarded as first, second, and third prizes to the winner. Applications were open to all of England, and information was to be had of Mr. H. Dennis, of the Park Tavern in Cliff Town, and Mr. William Stewart of 28, Park Street. Towards the end of the 1800s, the times of gentility were disappearing, and the park had fallen into disrepair and was subject to vandalism. After the Southend Corporation refused the offer to purchase the park for £800 in 1881, and with the price for land beginning to rise with the population explosion of Southend, Mr. Stewart sold the land privately in 2 lots, which at the time of sale included Hamlet Mill, the post windmill which stood at the bottom of Park Road at the junction of Avenue Road opposite Park Road Methodist Church, and some farm buildings, for £2,800, to be used for building new housing. These farm buildings included the old Vincent's Farm, which housed the water pumping stations in its southwest corner for the town's first waterworks, which was located across the road, in Milton Road, and the water was stored in what is now Milton Gardens. The football and cricket fixtures transferred to Marine Park, which in 1901 became home to the Kersal, one of the world's first purpose-built amusement parks. The second part of the sale on the 29th of June 1869 was for the land bounded by Stratton Road, London Road, High Street and Avenue Road, and included the cricket field opposite the Cricketers Inn. The field was sold to Thomas Dowsett, who was the first mayor of Southend from 1892 to 93, for £300. Hamlet Mill, advertised as being in good working order, was sold to Mr. Thomas Arnold for £1,000. It was from the land that was sold at this sale that the Park Estate was built. The Southend Standard reported in 1884 that where the only buildings on the land were Milton Hall, the old mill house in Avenue Road, a little low cottage and some farm premises, between 300 and 400 houses had been built on what was now known as the Park Estate. Today the names of the streets give the few clues to where this once Premier Park used to be.